Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is May 14th, 2024. All right, so today is Game 5, Knicks Pacers. That's the series we're going to cover in this video. Um, the other series, the Timberwolves and Nuggets, we'll probably look at that, but I won't go into that. I want to focus more on the Knicks because that's the team that I put out there to reach the NBA Finals to go against the Dallas Mavericks and lose to the Mavericks in the NBA championship. And I'm still on the Knicks, but we're gonna just look at everything to see if in fact they are the best possibility to reach the finals. One of the things I said in my other video was I don't know how the Knicks can beat to beat the Boston Celtics unless the Boston Celtics suffer an injury or something, because the way the Boston Celtics are playing is like most of the games they're favored by double digits. So, and the Knicks is right now almost a lot of their players are injured. All their star players, most of their star players are hurt. So I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. Injury riddled Knicks beating the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, unless you have injuries on both sides, or unless you have some of those Knicks players return. I don't know. I mean, we shall see. But this 9/11 narrative that I've been putting out there, I still really like it. And if you've been paying attention to all the games, they've been paying tribute to 9/11 a lot, especially the Mavericks, where their star player is number 77 and plays at the American Airlines Arena. Because I think, what was it, Game 4? Was it Game 4? Yeah, I think it was. Actually, no, it was probably Game 3. The Mavericks beat the Oklahoma City Thunder with 119 points. Thunder scored 110 in that game. Both important numbers to 9/11. Because 11/9, it looks like the date, September 11th. And, of course, the East Tower was 110 stories tall. And I think Kyrie Irving had 9 points and 11 rebounds in that game as well. And like we've been saying, the last time the Knicks played the Dallas Mavericks was on February 8th, which was 119 days before the start of the NBA Finals. So I still like the Knicks. I still like that narrative the most. But look at this, right? So I was on this website, Michelin S. And then they have this banner here. It says, "Be authentic, be legendary, 2024 NBA playoffs," right? So, of course, they got Patrick Ewing, right, with his arms up, celebrating, right? Patrick Ewing for the Knicks. And then they got Tyson Chandler and Kevin Garnett, right? Knicks versus Celtics. And then they got Dirk Nowitzki, former Maverick, holding up the 666 fingers. 2024 NBA players. They don't have any other players from any other team, right? These are the three teams that I think have the potential to win the championship. Actually, I don't think the Knicks are going to win the championship. It's either going to be the Celtics or the Mavericks. Because the Celtics does have that 185 narrative that I've been very scared of. But I still think the Knicks somehow, I don't know how, somehow beat the Celtics. I'm standing by that. But isn't it funny how you go to their website and then these are the teams that they have in this poster? They have the Knicks and Celtics. And then they have Dirk Nowitzki by himself. Of course, he wore number 41, big number during 9/11. Okay, so let me show you guys this. This is the thing that I really, really like about Knicks and Mavericks still. So, okay, let me just pull it up. Let me pull up the photo. Go to patreon.com real quick. I'm going to open up the phone lines because I also want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys like the narrative that I've been talking about. If not, maybe there's something else that you guys noticed. Okay, so this right here is what I really, really like about this potential Mavericks-Knicks finals. So, 1994, that's what we started off talking about, 1994, how that was a big tribute to O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson, of course, died this year, right? The day that O.J. supposedly murdered his wife, the Knicks were playing the Houston Rockets in a pivotal Game 6. And, of course, the Knicks lost that game and then eventually ended up losing the series 4-3 to the Houston Rockets. So the Knicks lost to a Texas team, the Houston Rockets, back in 1994. Then they reached the finals in 1999 and went against the San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan and David Robinson, who were known as the Twin Towers. This was 1999, a couple of years before 9/11 happened. The Knicks lost to the San Antonio Spurs 4-1. Of course, USA, Al Qaeda, terror, all equal 41. USA 41. 9/11 happened on the day before 41 numerology. The Twin Towers beat the Knicks 4-1. So the Knicks lost again to a Texas team. If it happens again this year, the Knicks lose to Mavericks. This will be the third time they will lose to a Texas team in their third consecutive NBA Finals. All right, so the Knicks been to the Finals 94, 99, and it could possibly go in 2024. There's only three NBA teams in Texas. So what are the odds that they lose to every single Texas team in their last 3 finals? I mean, that is a good narrative for me. I have Rockets, Spurs, and then the Mavericks. And I think the reason the narratives around Texas is because that's where George Bush is from. Like I said, the first series with them in the Rockets, it was a tribute to OJ. It was clearly a tribute to OJ. It happened on game. They lost that big game at the Garden on the day that he murdered his wife, supposedly. No doubt that when they lost to the Spurs, it was a tribute to the Twin Towers, right? I mean, they literally lost to the Twin Towers, David Robinson and Tim Duncan. And wouldn't it be perfect if they lost to the Mavericks, which is a tribute to not only OJ, but also 9/11, right? Because, again, Luka wears the number 77. That was a huge number during 9/11 because it was an American Airlines flight in 77 that crashed into the 77th Pentagon on the 77th Meridian 77 minutes after takeoff. And in Gematria, when you write out September 11th and World Trade Center, it equates to 77, just like Secret Society. Of course, Rosicrucian is also 77. So they can have number 77 go against number 11, right? Jalen Bronson, whose dad wore the number 9. Keep in mind that Tom Thibodeau, he was the head coach of the Knicks during 9/11. Right? There's actually an article out there that you guys can read where Tom Thibodeau talks about that day, where he was at, his experience during while the World Trade Center was getting bombed, supposedly, or attacked. There's an article out there that he talks about that event and what transpired in his on that day for him. So Tom Thibodeau has a lot of connections to 9/11 and the Knicks. Keep in mind that Jeff Van Gundy was the head coach of the Knicks during 9/11. Jeff Van Gundy was born on January 19th. So if they are going to have the Knicks, it has to be a tribute to 9/11 because that's what they've been doing every time they've been to the finals. Every time the Knicks been to the finals, it's been a tribute to 9/11. Just like when the Yankees go to the World Series. Tribute to 9/11. They went in the year 2000 against the Mets. They had the 2 New York teams in the World Series right before the New York gets terrorized. Okay, so that's one. This is one narrative that I really like. Right, New York losing to the 3rd Texas team in their 3rd consecutive championship. And I'm not saying that the Knicks been to the finals 3 times in a row. I'm just saying their last 3 NBA finals, they've lost to a team from Texas. A different team from Texas, by the way. It's not like they lost to the same. They're about to lose to the same Texas team. No. They will have lost to every single Texas team on separate years. Just the odds of that happening is just amazing. Whoever wins today is going to win Game 6 as well. And this is why, right? Indiana right now, they are 6-4 in the postseason. If they win, they become 7-4. New York Knicks has a gematria of 74, right? But Tom Thibodeau, his Knicks are also 6-4. So the Knicks can become 7-4 in the playoffs. So this is what I'm saying. Whoever wins today is going to win Game 6 as well, because Indiana Pacers equals 84, excuse me. And I think it's going to be the Knicks today, right? Because of this. Notice Pacers equals 26, right? Pacers has the gematria of 26. If you look up the Knicks postseason record on the road this season, actually no, that's not the right stat. Knicks road record, Knicks record on the road this season, including the playoffs. So the Knicks postseason record and their regular season record on the road this year, they are 25-21. So if they lose, if the Pacers lose at home to the Knicks will pick up their 26th road win of the season against the team with the 26th connection, the Pacers. So today they become 7-4 in the playoffs. Game 6 they become 8-4. Indiana Pacers equals 84, and they pick up that 26th road win against the Pacers, which equals 26. Now I don't know how that's going to be possible without a lot of the players that they are missing, but it is rigged. It is scripted. We might see an unbelievable performance by one of these star players. Maybe Jalen Brunson goes off for 50 points consecutively. He's known for that, right? So we'll see. But you also got to ask yourself, the Knicks just lost by like 30 points, right? Why are they even favored, right? With all the injuries that they have. The Knicks are missing a lot of players. They just lost by 30 points, yet they're favored at home against the Indiana Pacers. You got to ask yourself why. Also, going back to 9/11, right? Today is Tom Thibodeau's 119th day of his age. 119. It's 118 days after his birthday. If you include the end date, it's 119. 119. Again, they've been paying tribute to this number a lot during these playoffs. So let's see what happens 119 days on the 119th day of Tom Thibodeau's age, who happens to be 66 right now, like the day of the finals. And let me show you something about 66, right? Look, Texas equals 66. NBA Finals starts on June 6th. New York equals 66 as well, and it also equals 78. This is the 78th NBA season. And the NBA Finals starts on 6/6. And notice New York is also 156, like how 9/11 is the 156 prime number. But New York equals 66. New York by itself also has gematria of 78. And, of course, it equals 39. Tom Thibodeau's on 37 postseason wins. He needs 2 more to get to 39. And also the Knicks, they could pick up that 201st postseason win in Indianapolis. Again, if they win Game 6, it will be on the road. Today they can win the 200th postseason game, and then they can possibly win the 201st in the only city that equals 2-1, Indianapolis. So I'm not going away from the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to win the series. If they are going to win it, they're going to win it in 6 games. And then go against the Celtics. I think that's what this website is indicating, that it will be a Celtics-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. And Patrick Ewing with his 2 arms up is probably an indication that the Knicks will win. I'm not saying, take this poster as face value, but I don't think none of this stuff is a coincidence. These websites, they like to put the truth out there. ESPN does this all the time. Today's Rick Carlisle's 201st day of his age as well. So that is a big number. Doesn't always mean you're going to win around that number, but that is dangerous. Let me see, because I'm thinking maybe, oh shit, let me see. So Game 6 is on the 17th, right? Rick Carlisle has the 10/27 birthday. I was gonna say, is that the 250th of his age? Because Madison Square Garden, but it's not. Um, all right, make sure I'm live. Yeah, Porzingis is injured, but the Celtics are still dominating without him. I'm a little concerned with the Celtics. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the Celtics. I don't know. I don't know how the Knicks can beat Celtics in 4 games. It's in a 7 game series. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of games before that. They still have to play this game 5 here. Maybe somebody gets hurt in this game. I mean, that's my only hope for the Knicks narrative to play. Somebody has to get hurt. Some of these key players. Maybe Jason Tatum gets hurt. It has to be like a key player like that. I'm not talking about Al Horford. Al Horford doesn't really matter. It has to be either Jason Tatum. It has to be Jason Tatum, really. That's who needs to get hurt. I'm not wishing death on anybody. All right, let's see. What else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, let me just look at the Patreon real quick. This is the game I was talking about here. This was game 3. Actually, no, this is game 3. That's what I said. So game 3, the Mavericks won 119 to 110. Both teams became 1-1 like the number 11. Clearly a tribute. OKC fell to 5-2 in the postseason that day. All right, let's see. All right, if you guys want to call in, it's something else I wanted to talk about, but I'm not remembering right now. I think the number's on the screen. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is 646-986-0958. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen. Please call in with whatever you think about today's game or game 6 or 7 about the Knicks. Only the Knicks and Pacers series, because I'm giving this out for free. I don't want to talk about any other series, because that stuff I'm going to put out exclusively on Patreon. So I don't want to talk about the Mavericks series, when that's going to end. Only Knicks and Pacers. Because this is what I've been putting out there for free anyway. And if there is a possibility that we could cash out early, then this is the time to do it. Because we don't want to lose any money. So there is a narrative for the Pacers to advance. Let's talk about it. So that way, if you guys have any futures in, you want to cash out your tickets early and avoid losing any money, this would be the great time to do that. Because the series is tied. The Knicks are favored at home. This is the moment to cash out your tickets if we think that the Pacers are going to advance. But like I said, all the stuff that I'm seeing, I still like the Knicks to win the next two games. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how, but after losing about 30 points, they looked. I mean, but that's what Vegas does, right? They'll have a team like the Knicks who's been dominating most of the playoffs. They'll have them lose by 30 points. Now everybody, all the gambling community, are gonna shift to the team that just won their last game, right? So okay, so Thunder just beat the Mavericks. Now everybody's all off the Mavericks bandwagon onto the Thunder bandwagon because they just lost. They just won the last game. So don't be fooled about that 30-point loss. It doesn't mean anything. Hello. What's going on, man? Thank you for the call.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I get what you're saying with the whole Knicks thing. Hold on one second. Yeah, I get what you're saying with the whole Knicks thing, but that was an interesting observation you had for the Knicks. But it's just something tells me that the Pacers have a strong narrative as well. I mean, I see last game they brought out the whole Reggie Miller um, thing about New York still hates Reggie Miller, but I thought that was funny because this year is 2024, and you got to tie in the whole Kobe Bryant thing with 2024, and and I see that. Hold on one second. Look at my notes real quick. Hold on one second. Yeah, I see that the last time the Pacers were, I'm not saying the Pacers would be in the finals, but I see the last time the Pacers were in the finals was 24 years ago. And that was against the Lakers. And the Pacers lost 4-2. And if you remember the in-season tournament, the Lakers and the Pacers were the first two teams to do the in-season tournament. And also the NBA All-Star was in Indiana. So I feel like they're doing something big with Indiana this year. But your whole Knicks narrative too is not bad either. But I just feel like every time I'm looking up, they're talking about Halliburton and how this year's a leap year and how technically I don't know if he's technically 5 years old or 6 years old, but they've been doing a lot of things with Halliburton. He's been talked about a lot, but they've been trying to keep it on the hush a little bit. But that's just what I know.
So what are your thoughts? Why would they have the Knicks favored in this game after losing a 30-point game to the Pacers and with all the injuries that they have?
And this game is also in Indiana as well, right?
No, it's in New York.
Oh, it's in New York. Why would they have the Knicks favored?
Yeah.
Well, they're at home.
So you're saying it was the home court advantage after losing by 30 is the reason to make them favorites? All right. Well,
if you're the series is 2-2. If you get beat by 30 or 1, you still gonna be favored at home.
Really? I thought the injuries would play a part into the spread, but I guess not.
Yeah, I can see that too. Because I mean, with the Knicks did win the first two as well, but the injuries,
because all the home teams don't win.
Say it again.
No, it's not always that the home team doesn't always win. So.
Right.
So I just thought the injuries would be, something that they would consider in making the spread because they're missing a lot of players. It's not like they're missing one person.
Right. Me personally, I would stay away from this game because it just if you know with your decode or anything, if you see anything at halftime or any numbers that you had seen with 39 or 33, then I might put a little something on it, but it could get tricky with them being favored like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying you like the Pacers series because of you said something about Kobe?
Yeah, it's Kobe was born in '78, and like you said, it's the '78 NBA season,
Okay.
and not to mention when they brought up Reggie Miller, Reggie Miller was born on Kobe Bryant Day,
That
April
is true.
24th.
Okay.
And if you look on Instagram, they're talking about Reggie Miller, how they're making a big deal, how New York still hates Reggie Miller, and it's just not coming out. But I just those are just observations that I noticed. And also, Reggie Miller played for UCLA, and even Reggie Miller, his name equals 204. So I just thought that was interesting.
Oh wait, that's a good one. So his name equals 204.
So does Rick Carlisle.
The Knicks can pick up that 204th postseason loss, right?
Possibly.
Is that why you saying that the 204?
Yeah, 204 for 24 because the year is 24.
No, yeah, but the Knicks have 202 postseason losses.
Oh, okay.
So if they lose two more, they get to 204.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
And
so what is it?
also,
Is it Reggie Miller or his full name?
Reggie Miller.
Yeah, his name is 204. That's a good one.
And also, Halliburton was drafted in 2020, the year Kobe died.
You saying Rick Carlisle's name is 204?
Rick Carlisle, yeah.
It's actually an overlap with Reggie Miller. That's funny. All right, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, and also one more thing. They got Pascal Siakam in the trade deadline. He got traded to Indiana 20 weeks and 1 day before the finals, which is another 201.
All right. Yeah, that is a little concerning though, because the Knicks lose two more, they get to 204. That is.
Oh, and Pascal Siakam, his birthday before the finals is 2 months and 4 days, which is actually 66 days before the finals.
All right. Anything else?
No, that was just some things I noticed, but keep up the good work.
I appreciate you, man. You did great. Thank you. All right, so he just pointed out a 204 that I was overlooking. So Reggie Miller's name is 204, just like Rick Carlisle's. Rick Carlisle and Reggie Miller just happens to have a nice little overlap in their names. Knicks are 2 losses away from 204, so that's something going against the Knicks. The name riddles, they are very powerful. I mean, I wouldn't overlook this. Especially with the whole choking narrative. The Knicks always choking to the Pacers in the postseason. Even though, that year that Reggie Miller did the choking sign, the Knicks still advanced to the finals that year. That was 1994. Like, they went against the Rockets. And they ended up choking to the Rockets. All right, so there are 2 losses from 204 and 2 wins from 201. All right. Hello? Can you lower the volume, please? Yeah, can you lower the volume?
Yes, sir.
Knicks are 2 losses away from 204, so that's something going against the Knicks.
You gotta lower the TV. All right, what's going on?
How you doing? We want to talk basketball today.
Yes.
that year.
Yeah, you gotta lower the TV, my brother.
It's still too loud. Sorry.
Just mute it. Just talk through the phone.
Uh, yeah, no, it's to my ear.
All right, what's going on?
We want to talk about the Lakers and LeBron against the Denver in this past season, this past playoff.
No, I want to talk about the Knicks and Pacers series. What you think about that?
I'm rooting for the Knicks.
Okay. Do you think that they can still win with all the injuries that they have?
The Knicks? I think so.
All right. Well, anything else?
But that could be because I've been a Knicks fan for years now, and I'm from New York. But,
Oh, okay.
so I want them to win.
Makes sense. You're a Knicks fan. You want the Knicks to win. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Look at the chat. We'll see what you guys think. So Lightning says Celtics equals 26. They'll be on 26 road losses going into that Celtics series. I like that. Yeah. I like that. That's a good one. So Cousin Maul says the name Jalen Brunson equals 145. 145. Well, oh, it's like today's date? Yeah, today's 14/5, like Catholic. Man, that's a good one too. But what is this over and under? He's at 33.5. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He might have he needs to go off in this game. He needs to go off in this game for the Knicks to have a chance. 33.5 points. Wow. Yeah, I don't think the Knicks are choking either. I think the Knicks are gonna win. I think the thumbnail that I used for this video is a little misleading. I just used that thumbnail because I wanted to ask the question: are they gonna choke or are they not? Because if they do choke, then it'll be definitely a tribute to Reggie Miller and we know how much they like to shame New York City for some reason. All right, let's see. Celtics are negative 600 to win the East. They're not losing. And that doesn't really mean anything. The spread doesn't mean anything. The Mavericks were negative 590 to win that series, and now they're underdogs now. It don't really mean anything. If Jason Tatum hurts his ankle in Game 6 or Game 5, wherever that series is at, if Jason Tatum hurts his ankle and is ruled out for the rest of the season, you think the Celtics are still going to be negative 600? So no, don't ever look at the spread, man. It makes us look bad as a community. Hello? How you doing, man? Thanks for the call.
Yeah, bro. I just wanted to touch up on that 78, since the 70th NBA season.
Can you speak a little louder, please? I can't hear you.
Is that better?
Are you like covering your phone? I don't know. I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now. What's going on?
Oh, yes, sir. I just wanted to talk about how it's the 78th NBA season and how the Celtics are kind of tied around Joe Biden and how, when he announced for president back on April 25th, 2019, that he's running for president. And then, John Havlicek dies on the same day while President Biden was 78. I mean, we all thought they were probably going to win it back then, when they were facing the Celtics in the finals. But, the whole 75 narrative for the Warriors they ended up winning it. But they're facing Cleveland right now, which is 78. And then, I do think New York's going to end up winning this series. So I'm with you on that. But I think that, Celtics are going to prevail and win it this year. all seeking with Joe Biden because Joe Biden is 81 years old right now. And the reverse of 81 is 18. They can win their 18th championship. And possibly, he could pass away, because his code name is Celtic. So I feel like it's all paying in tribute to Joe Biden and possibly passing away, and Kamala coming to the.
Yeah, that is the other narrative for the Celtics that it's haunting me because I feel like if it is, and it's also an election year, so
Exactly, bro. And that's when the Celtics last won in an election year, 2008, with the Big Three. So they're definitely in a drought that I see them breaking. So, yeah. And then plus, what else? Jason Tatum on the Snapchat a while back ago, I saw he posted a picture of his son doing the Kobe pose in the year of Kobe Bryant, 2024. The United States is 248 years old. It's 24 and 8. Kobe wore 24 and 8. And he was posing with his head down doing that Kobe pose with a trophy that he won from like a little kids league. So I feel like he's kind of like teasing us.
okay.
But,
Yeah, the Joe Biden narrative is deadly. That is a deadly one.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's also
yeah.
his nickname being Celtics.
Oh yeah, that right there is just like giving. And John Havlicek retired in '78.
But what would be the narrative for him? Like what other team? Like what would be the narrative for this? Like who would the Celtics lose to or win against?
I would say it's either going to be the Timberwolves or OKC, one of those two.
No, okay. What I mean is, what would be the tribute with having those cities in the finals going against the Celtics? Because we know, like think about like in the 119th World Series, right? We get why Texas was there, and we get why Arizona was there, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What would be the reason? Like, because what is Joe Biden's connection to Minnesota and Oklahoma City?
I would have to do more research on that. I'm sure there is some type of connection, but also here's one of my hot takes that I don't think is going to happen, but it could possibly happen. The Celtics end up sweeping whoever they play in the NBA Finals 4-0 on Donald Trump's 78th birthday to conclude the 78th.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I thought that was one of my narratives for the Mavericks winning on June 14th, because not only is that Trump's birthday, that's also Rick Bronson's birthday and R.J. Barrett, who both wore the number 9 for the Knicks.
Yeah, but I just feel like being tied to Trump is a little bit more like meaningful, and like how the connection between Biden and Trump is going on right now. So we all know.
But that's why they can have the Knicks versus the Celtics, because it'll be like a Joe Biden versus Trump type of thing.
Yeah, but his code name is Celtic.
Yeah, and Trump is from New York.
Yeah, Trump is for New York. I feel like they're showing us the signs with that parallel with the conference finals. If anything, that's how I can see it playing out. Yeah.
Because the thing is, if the Celtics beat New York in the Eastern Conference Finals, does that mean that Joe Biden beats Donald Trump in the upcoming rig selection?
Nah, I don't see that. I see Donald Trump, becoming 78 years old. He got 78 charges, 78 cards in tarot.
But that's what I'm saying. If Donald Trump, you got Donald Trump winning the election, why would you have the Knicks losing the Eastern Conference Finals?
I mean, it was vice versa. Back when John Havlicek died and Joe Biden announced he was running for president, the Warriors ended up winning.
Oh,
so
okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, I see where you're coming from. It's very interesting. I feel like they're getting more clever. Yeah, bro. But good shit, homie.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, bro. Keep it up.
I like what he said about the whole Joe Biden stuff. Man, this stuff is sometimes it's so tricky, man. 15.5 point favorite game 5. I think the game that the Cavs won, they was underdogs by 10 points. So, but But I do think it will be Celtics, Knicks. But let me just take a look at OG real quick. OG Anunoby. When does he plan? When did he plan to return this guy back? Yes, hello.
Yeah, what's up, Simple Truth?
How you
All
doing,
right.
man? Thanks for the call.
You already know. It's Cousin Mark from Philly. I met you in New York when you was out there with Cousin Zach.
Oh
But,
yeah, yeah, I remember you.
All right, so I just found out that George Bush Sr., his code name was Timberwolf. And I know how you just said how you like the whole George W. Bush narrative and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that it might be the Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics.
So whose nickname was Timberwolf?
George Bush Sr., and you know how you said, the NBA Finals might relate to George Bush Jr. Well, I couldn't find George Bush's Jr.'s code name, but I found his dad, and it just happened to be Timberwolf. And I'm like, well, that's kind of ironic. And didn't his dad have something to do with the Kennedy assassination?
So the 40, he was the okay. It says his nickname was Poppy. I'm trying to find where.
I'm actually on the Britannica website right now, and it says that George Bush Sr., his code name was Timberwolf, just like Bill Clinton was Eagle. You had actually George Bush Jr. His code name was Trailblazer. You got Obama as Renegade. You got Donald Trump as Mogul. You got Joe Biden as Celtic. I'm looking at it right now. I'm on the Britannica.com website. So, all right, we got George Bush Jr. as Trailblazer, and we got his dad as Timberwolf.
I see it.
Yeah, is there anybody from the Pacific, like anybody from the Pacific in the NBA West Conference Finals? I mean, in the playoffs right now? I know the Clippers lost. Who else is from there?
From which conference?
From the Pacific. Basically, because, the Trailblazers, aren't they in the Pacific Division? And then we got the Timberwolves.
Well, the Clippers, Suns, Lakers, Kings all lost, and the Warriors. So there's nobody from the Pacific left.
Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, I like this narrative that you're talking about with the whole Bush situation.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing that George Bush Sr. is Timberwolf, and it would be a money grab for Vegas if Denver really lost to the T-Wolves, and we got this Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan parallel. I wrote in the comments about Jordan versus Bird. You know what I mean? I could see that being a tribute, because we got Celtic. Larry Bird is in all of these commercials all of a sudden. You got these Anthony Edwards parallels. They like to switch narratives. I noticed that, they switch narratives on the fly. I mean, when there's too much money being put on certain situations, the narrative is just like, all right, let's flip the next page. Let's go to this narrative.
How you feel about the Knicks possibly losing to the third Texas team?
I like that also because John F. Kennedy got killed in Dallas, right?
JFK, yes, he did.
Right, and Joe Biden is Celtic, and he's the second Catholic president. I really like that narrative.
See, that's what I'm saying. They make it so tricky, man.
I mean, like I said, they flipping the pages. It's like, today's the money is heavy on it. They just keep flipping the pages. Simple. You know how it goes. But I definitely
See, that's a good one because the Dallas connection with Biden, that's where it goes. That's where it's at.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that narrative right there that you gave with the Knicks losing to a third, Texas teams. I actually like the Celtics or the Knicks versus Dallas. Like, that would be the one that I would put the most money on.
Yeah, because you could bet on both of those scenarios.
I mean, because both of those scenarios lead up to a president getting killed.
Yeah, and they both pay a lot of money at the moment. So,
I mean, we had Trump assassination situations, and either one of these presidents, like let's say who dies in office, whether it's Trump or Biden, will be the 9th president to die in office, correct?
I will have to verify that. I don't know the top of my head, no.
I believe that's the case. I believe that and I heard you talking about all this 9 and X, Y, and Z. But yeah, brother, I kind of like, I like the narrative of Dallas because we know Texas was riding heavy in the finals. They have been in a number of championships lately, and the Kansas City Chiefs also relate to Texas too because they used to be the Dallas Texans.
And Patrick Mahomes' favorite team is the Mavericks.
Yeah, and he's from White House, Texas.
See, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know why would they have number 77 and then number 11 Kyrie Irving, American Airlines Arena, and then they got Jalen Brunson wearing number 11 and Tom Thibodeau.
Right, and it's kind of ironic that Kyrie didn't he go from Boston to Brooklyn or vice versa?
Yeah, it's just like this is so much 11s and 70s. It just looks, every time I watch these games, it's just they throwing these September 11th numbers in front of you.
And did you watch the game last night? How did Dallas lose? They wanted to stretch that series out. There was no way Dallas should have lost that game last night.
Especially with they had the lead. It was up by like 6.
Listen, I wake up and I'm like, wait, they won? I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? I said, you know what? I knew it was going to wind up 2-2. I said, there's no.
You know what it is? Dallas equals 13. So and yesterday was the 13th. So they know that the whole decoding community probably thought that the Dallas was going to go up 3-1. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I know this. So I said the trolls in the community are watchers of them. They sit there. They're on the Patreons. They like, oh, they didn't figure out the script, guys. It's time to hit the button. So you know what I mean, like that. We know what's going on. You know, it ain't indirect. You know, they understand what we're doing, and you know, it's simple to see. You know, no pun intended. It's simple to see what the fuck they be doing.
And I know they care about us. A lot of people say that, they don't care about you guys. That's fucking bullshit. Because they always taking shots at us through the TV. They're always saying some bullshit to let us know that they know that they're watching.
Whoever's listening, this community fucking matters. And yeah, they fucking flip the script based off of the shit that, you know, the decoders, you know, have put together, and they want all the fucking good Patreons, and they're like, oh, yeah, they are. All right, they didn't figure this shit out. Let's switch it up. I've seen it. Yeah. I've watched it live, and you've been dead on. The next thing I know, I'm watching the game, and the announcer will say some old crazy shit that you might have mentioned, and the next thing I know, the game is just, you know, the team that's down 20, now they done won the fucking game, and it's like...
Yeah, they won by 10 and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Like,
yeah, I know, that's how it is, man. Yeah, you're right. And then they mock us with the... Sometimes, like... Let's say we're talking about like a number like let's say we're talking about the number 102, and we'll say something like, oh, the Knicks can become 10-2, and next thing you know, the Knicks will lose with 102 points.
Exactly.
And I'm like, wait, so the Knicks just lost with 102 points, and that was the number that we thought they was gonna win with?
Yep, and then I seen it happen, you know, this past season when it's like, we don't think the Cleveland Browns are going to beat the 49ers, but, you know, Shanahan could fall to 4-7, you know, and the next thing you know, I'm watching the game, and there's a stat that pops up, it's like, oh, Shanahan is, you know, 4-6 or something where I know that 4-7 is about to drop. It was like it's 4-6 versus Cleveland, X, Y, and Z, and I said, here goes this 47. What happens? Next thing you know, Purdy can't complete a fucking pass. McCaffrey can't get a yard. This dude, I don't even know who the backup quarterback was for the Browns, but he was like the third string dude. Now, next thing you know, 85 is wide open, the African tight end. And I'm just like, look at this shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it should be wild. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you taking my call, bro. And, you know, I always enjoy when you were live.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Right. I definitely think that, you know, Dallas somehow, some way, they going to beat OKC, and then I got a feeling that Denver is going to slip up.
And I think the NBA probably wants the Jokic Luka finals, Western Conference finals.
Exactly. Just like how we know that I don't want to see the Pacers and the Celtics. I want to see the Knicks and the Celtics, and I don't even really support that shit.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, why would they have the cities like so amped up just to have them lose again? I feel like they're doing something different this year with the Knicks, and they got Stephen Marbury at the game, the guy who's been living in China all this time. Now he's at the games and stuff. Like, come on.
Right, exactly. And not for nothing, we know that there's a Catholic tribute going on, and the Villanova Knicks are the most Catholic team in the league right now.
What are your thoughts about that? What do you think the Villanova connection is with them?
I have, well, I mean,
Because three players from that college, from that university is
right.
wild.
I mean, simple truth. I've been thinking about this ever since I realized it, and I can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, either I've been trying to like, what is that? What is this about? What is this theme with the Wildcats and?
Right, yeah, I call them the Villanova Knicks. That's what I call them.
It's not an accident though. It's not an accident. They put them all together like that.
Right, I live in Philly. I live not too far from Villanova. I've been scratching my head over this. I've been trying to figure this out. Like, because DiVincenzo, he was a bounce around player from the, Golden State to Milwaukee. And I'm like, well, damn, now he's shining. And Josh Hart couldn't make a fucking layup with the Lakers. And now look at him. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, they're literally the big three. They're like the Warriors of the East.
Yeah. And like I said, I just can't figure it out. But I know one thing. I put that Catholic connection together, and I said, all right, I see them playing Joe Biden, Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final, and I'm still trying to figure out who has a stronger Catholic connection between the four teams in the Western Conference Finals. That's my angle this playoffs. It was the Catholic angle because I seen everything that was transpiring. You know what I mean? So I got to figure that out. I don't think Denver's too Catholic, but Dallas, I know they got a Catholic connection because they killed the Catholic fucking president down there.
Yep.
So yeah, so I know that. But yeah, I mean, that's my strongest team out the West is Dallas. I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one. The Dallas Celtics narrative is definitely a possibility. I just think if that happens, Celtics might become 18-5.
No, I think that if that happens, that Luka and Kyrie, because Kyrie, it's going to be that narrative. Kyrie,
going against his former team, right?
Yeah, that's his former team, and he had all that bullshit problems in Boston. Like, he had the incident where, the people was calling him the N-word, and then, he gave the press conference about the fans, and, every time he goes back to Boston, the
But
fans,
he also played for New York, though.
Yeah, he played for New York also. Yeah, that's what I said. He played for Boston.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why it's just perfect for him, for the Western Conference to be Dallas versus whoever.
Yes.
And then have them, now have us thinking, is Kyrie going to play against the Knicks' former team or the Celtics' former team?
Right.
Well, that's just perfect.
Well, did he play for the Knicks too?
Not the Knicks, but, Brooklyn,
right.
New York, the New York, Brooklyn thing.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But if you think about it like this, I think Brooklyn is considered to be, it has a strong Jewish presence, but I mean, they got a strong Catholic presence also because we know how they rock and roll together. So he played for technically three teams that have Catholic, JFK connections. And then we can throw Biden in there between Boston and the fact that he might not make it out of office. You know what I mean? So, and he's the second Catholic president. So Joe Biden is connected to that for the simple fact that there's a strong chance that he might not make it. So yeah, I like the Luka, and yeah, they definitely want that. They want the what's Luka from? What country he from?
One of those,
right.
Yeah, one of those, foreign guys. I don't know how to.
How about this? You want to know something?
Slovenia.
Right, I was going to say, he's from Slovenia and the other one's from wherever. How about this? How about these two guys playing the finals and one country don't like the outcome of another country?
And they go to war?
Right, and for shits and giggles, they at war.
Yeah, Serbia versus Slovenia.
Right. I mean, like, I can see this. You know, that's how like gullible the sheep are. You know, next thing you know, they playing in the Western Conference Finals, and then next thing you know, they at war. You hear everybody say, yo, you hear this. You know, that's just something else to get the wool pulled over their eyes, man. I mean, it's sad. But yeah, Luka and Jokic in the Western Conference Finals, that's big money. That's big viewership right there.
Do you remember the video of the All-Star game weekend where Luka was sitting next to Jokic, and then Bronson came over to give him a handshake? Let's see if I can pull up that video.
And what, did he get dissed?
Yeah, like Luka sunned him. Like he put his hand over his head.
Yeah, I just seen an article where it said that Rick Carlisle, who used to be the coach, or somebody who was the coach at Dallas, was saying like he knew that Rick Brunson was going to turn out to be a beast, but we couldn't give him time because Luka didn't fuck with him or some shit like that. I was like, oh, okay, that's news to me.
I just found that funny that they would have that moment, and it would be like the focal point of the All-Star weekend. Oh, look at it right here. So I'm playing the video right now. So Luka's on the floor, and Jalen Brunson's gonna pick him up, trying to take a photo with him. And then Luka comes and puts his hand over his head, like he's like his son and stuff. And Luka is standing next to Jokic. It's like they're together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And it was former teammates, these two, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the perfect narrative going against his old team.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I definitely can, see that whole 9/11 connection. But I think for viewership, I think they would have Luka, Kyrie, versus Brown, and Tatum.
Yeah, that will be a way better finals, to be honest.
Right, and the money's going to be heavy on Boston, like a motherfucker.
But wait, New York in the finals is crazy too, though.
Yeah, New York.
Because the way the fans are in New York City is just like they don't care who's on the team as long as the team is winning.
Right, but we got to so it's the 78th NBA season, right? So doesn't Boston Celtics have a connection to the number 78 just like the New York Knicks?
Yeah, they both do. Both cities.
So but for some reason, I think Boston had the last black coach and lost in the finals, and then I think that Boston is almost like that Nick Saban thing. You can't win a national championship with a black quarterback. I think that's going to be the decoders, so basically, we can see the rituals going on, but not everybody else can. So I think that's the ritual that we're going to see continue. The Celtics lose with these minority coaches in the finals.
Okay, one last point. What about the OJ piece? The OJ, him, having the murder case in '94, and the Knicks go to the finals that year, and him dying this year, and the Rangers and Knicks are doing good again.
Right, I heard you speak on that, and I know that the Mavericks and the Knicks finished the year with similar,
the identical records.
Okay, right, that's crazy. And the Knicks was number 2 in the Eastern Conference, and the Mavs were all the way down. That's wild. But OJ,
because he did die this year. He wasn't, a big New York football player.
Right, I know he played for the Bills, but I really think the whole 9/11 narrative is pioneering the Knicks into more the forefront than OJ, to be honest, simple truth. OJ is not going to supersede, the whole Biden narrative. That I think we should focus, like the one caller said, because this is an election year, I think we should focus on that. And I think we should focus on the clear picture of them painting of one of these next presidents being assassinated or dying in office. Dallas, I believe, will be there because of the JF Kennedy situation and the Texas connection. And we're going to have either Celtic or New York mogul Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's code name is mogul, so we got to remember that, community. So we either going to have Celtic versus mogul to get killed by this team from Dallas, and I believe that the finals will end in Dallas with one of the teams, Celtics or the Knicks, losing in Dallas, possibly 4-2.
Yeah, but Game 4 is on Donald Trump's birthday. I think if if the Knicks do go, I don't think they get a win versus anybody.
Damn, you think the Knicks get swept?
Yeah, because June 14th, that's also R.J. Barrett's birthday. R.J. Barrett started the season with the Knicks. He was the one that got traded for O.J. Anunoby. He wore the number 9 for the Knicks.
See, and remember, the ninth president that dies, you got to look it up once we get off the phone. The next president that dies in office, cousin Simple Truth, is the ninth president. So this 9, I see, yeah, I mean, yeah, I see it,
All right, my brother. I appreciate the call, man. I really do.
You already know. I appreciate you taking the call. Thank you.
All right. Man, it's tough. But like I said, the Knicks, if the Knicks win today, they are 7-4 in the postseason. If they win Game 6, they can pick up that 26 road win. How are they gonna pull that off? We need an unbelievable performance by Jalen Brunson, to be honest. On Tom Thibodeau's 119th day of his age. That's what we need to see. Jalen Brunson to go way over 33 points. Hello? How you doing, man? Thank you for the call.
Thank you. I'm doing good. I wanted to make this one a little quick because I'm not going to bring any numbers to the table. I'm not too savvy on all this gematria yet, but I wanted to bring something to your attention because I seen you mention it a little bit, but I am a follower on the Patreon. I haven't seen anything a little baseball related, but you had mentioned something about, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was the New York Rangers. And they've been underdogs to the Hurricanes. They started out 3-0 and they've lost their last 2. Do you think whatever happens to the Rangers will affect the Knicks? And also, have you taken a look at the MLB matches that will be happening during the finals?
Okay. I do think the Knicks and Rangers are going to have similarities in their season. I don't think both of them reached the championship, though. That would be a little too obvious to go with what we were saying about 1994.
Okay.
So, what something about baseball. What you said about baseball? Like, who plays on June 6th, you mean?
Yeah, and obviously they're not going to do this every year, but I believe the year that the Astros played the Braves, during Game 5 and Game 6, the Hawks were playing the Rockets, and I don't know. I've kind of tried to take a look myself. Nothing popped out to me, but I figured I'd run it across your radar.
Well, they got the Yankees playing the Twins. So that's a Knicks Timberwolves, maybe. Well, that's not guaranteed though. I'm just saying, like that's
for sure.
So let's see. Let's just keep looking. Let's see who the Mets play around that time. They got the Mets playing the Phillies. See who the Red Sox are playing. Red Sox is playing Chicago around the finals.
Okay.
Let me see who the Rangers are playing. The Rangers, because the Rangers will be Dallas, right?
Yeah, they play in Arlington, but it's the same metropolitan area.
Yeah, the only thing I see is the New York versus Minnesota Twins, and isn't that New York? Like, isn't that 9/11? Like, this is what I mean. Maybe that's what the riddle is. With the Knicks playing, I mean, the Knicks play. If the Knicks play the Mavericks, right? We said it might be a tribute to 9/11, right?
Right.
So why on June 6th, why are the Twins playing New York Yankees? Twin Towers?
Okay.
Not necessarily Minnesota Timberwolves, but it could just be like the Twins, like 9/11, like Twin Towers, New York. and they're in New York, the Twins, right? So
Yeah, that timing is.
that's that. And this game is on June 6th.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It has to be mad. It has. That's what I'm saying. Like how all this 9/11 stuff that they putting in front of us, man. It's like how can it not be Dallas and New York, man?
Yeah, I'm loving the Dallas and New York narrative, and that just added to it. Like I said, I won't take it blindly, but I'm liking how it looks.
Come on, Knicks and Twins and Yankees on 6-6. I mean, that has to be what that riddle is.
Get a little bit on your radar. I appreciate you accepting the call.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care of yourself.
Like, come on. What's the odds of that, man? That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I don't like when this stuff doesn't play, and people start criticizing us. Like, oh, I thought you said the Knicks. Oh, wrong again. Don't listen to this guy. Like, you guys don't. A lot of you don't have a brain. Like, don't you see all the stuff that they putting in front of us? Like, how can we go against this? You know, it's just like a lot of you don't know what's going on. That's why a lot of you criticize whenever we get stuff wrong. But even if it's not the Knicks in Dallas, it's just like, man, all this stuff all this 9/11 stuff that they're putting in front of us. How can you fade that? It's just, I don't know. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good, man. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, so I'm looking to see a narrative for this New York 201st win versus the Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So we might as well look for so it could happen in Game 6 or Game 7.
Yeah.
So we got to look for somebody with a birthday of October 29th or October 31st. So it'll be their 201st day of their age during the Knicks' 201st win. So if there's a New York Knicks basketball player with a October 29th or 31st birthday, that would certainly,
October. You said October what?
Yeah, so the New York Knicks are on 199 all-time playoff wins right now.
No, what day you said? October 29th or October 30th?
Well, if you just go to the gematria calculator and you put on Game 6 and Game 7.
But what date are you? What is their birthday? So you said the birthday has to be the 30th or the 29th?
Yeah. So October 29th, 2023 to Game 6 is 201 days. And then October 31st to Game 7 is 201 days.
I see what you're saying.
Because that's definitely an angle. That this is the type of stuff that they definitely do.
Yeah, like today's the 119th day of Tom Thibodeau's age. Well, that's Devin Booker's birthday. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like a Knicks player. It's probably going to be some type of athlete, a New York athlete, if the Knicks end up winning. But also the whole Boston Celtics thing. So since the finals are on 6-6, and the Celtics could potentially lose going into the finals and not make it to the finals. And, like that whole Rambo and Zach have that prediction about June 1st or June 2nd, Joe Biden dying. They made that like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot for the Celtics to lose, either the conference finals or the finals, right in line with Joe Biden dying as the codename Celtic. Not to mention, the whole Donald Trump New York thing. Trump would be representing. What was Trump's code name? Do we know it? I forget.
Look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they tell us the code name while they're president, or do they? Well, obviously they do, because Biden's Celtic. Obama was renegade.
Mountaineer.
Bush was Maverick, right?
I think it says Mountaineer on Wikipedia.
Trump's code name is Mountaineer?
That's what it says here.
What's the gematria in that?
I think Trump is also 119. I think. Well, he has the 135 in his name, the 54, 162. A lot of baseball numbers in his code name.
Yeah, and that was interesting what you guys just saw. The well, so a lot of this. There's a lot of resurgence of the stuff from the '60s with this RFK Jr. thing. Like they're bringing in the college campus protests. Uh, like they're paying tribute to the '60s and the civil unrest of the hippies and the Black Panthers, and now it's Black Lives Matter. So, we're definitely seeing some fucking major figures get assassinated or something like that. Because we've been waiting for people that have been into the government manipulating us, like trying to figure out what's going on. We've been waiting for a political assassination for a pretty long time in America, but we only really see ones overseas. There might have been one or two on American soil that made like the mainstream news like for a while, but I don't fucking remember them.
Yeah, so Cousin Maul says Donald Trump's code name was Mogul. He probably told me in the phone call and I forgot it. My bad. Yeah, Mogul. Yeah, that's what he said. I have a lot of stuff in my head right now. Right now my brain is on overload. So yeah, so it's Mogul, not Mountaineer.
Well, of course they got it mobile, but yeah. So uh, when we saw that number 17 died, the year that the Boston Celtics got their 17th championship, right when Joe Biden got elected. So I see mogul equals 68 and 67, like Wuhan.
Yeah.
That's like, I think it's a perfect match with Wuhan and water.
Okay.
But, like that 1968 again, mogul equals 68, going back to the whole turmoil, the whole, like they did the 56 years rating of that college hall. I don't know if you follow Zach's work still, but he just mentioned the Kennedy brainworm thing and how tomorrow Mercuralia looks really interesting because it's RFK Jr. is 70 years old right now. But I don't think Zach saw this, but from RFK's April 19th, 2023 presidential speech, his official announcement of his campaign is 56 weeks tomorrow. And, that's the 5670 combination ties in with Mercuralia and the Jesuit Order and Quicksilver. So as far as the Knicks, are they going to, like if the New York Knicks beat the Indianapolis Pacers, I don't know. I think they probably get that 205th win, right? I mean, I don't.
That's what makes this stuff so tough. Because how do they not get to 205 this year? And the other part was how they lost that game where they could became 201 and 201.
Well, the 202, that was the 201 before we really knew about 201.
Yeah, Skull and Bones is 202, right?
202 is huge, man,
And then going back to 9/11, right now, Skull and Bones is also 41. Yeah, Skull and Bones was the big part of that 9/11 stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So maybe the way that they want the Knicks' total schedule to be at the end of the season, maybe that's why they're on 202 losses right now. I mean, they could be on 203 and still win the series, but we would have to look at their record and see, okay, how many losses can the Knicks get, and how many losses can they, or how many wins can they get? What would the total record? Like if they would have 209 wins if they won it all. That doesn't quite make sense, but maybe if they had 207 losses and a certain amount of
None of those numbers really make sense. Except don't get into 205 and staying on that number.
well, so that would be total wins, but that's there's also the home records, away records, and all those other things. So like the spotlight number going into the finals, or at least the game 5, 6, or 7 when they make it to the finals. That will be that 205 will be the highlight then. But once the finals start, they could probably get a win or two. I mean, I really don't think they're going to win it all. But it all makes it's all going to make sense eventually. It's just we don't have the extra death clues. I think we're still going to see a couple of deaths that really make a lot of sense. That put it all together, because that's exactly what happens. Like we, like certain sacrifices happen after the championships as well as before it. And then, you're going to say, oh, of course this is going on after they just won, So there's that aspect too, Maybe the Knicks, maybe there's still a couple of sacrifices that are going to be announced for the Knicks or against the Knicks.
And John Mazzulla, the Celtics head coach, he can go into that series against the Knicks 19-11. Like his postseason record will be 19-11 going into that Knicks series.
And also, so 19-11, kind of like 9/11, but also like the 19.
Yeah, the 19 hijackers. That's what I mean.
And the lead hijacker was born on 1/9. And that number 19 is the chaos number, the 19-year cycle and all that. But also, like that number 22, it's not typically a New York number, but it's a master number. And New York equals 222.
Yeah, like order out of chaos.
Yeah. So, just because. So, like, the head-to-head records, they're probably going to have a lot more information than the Knicks all-time on their own, Like, the all-time wins being 205 if they make it to the finals. Like, that's an indicator, but it's not really great on its own without something with, a team matchup. So if you guys like the Knicks versus the Mavericks, you got to look at their all-time record, their playoffs records, and all that, and then you'll see, oh, okay, they got a total of 38 games together all time, so their first final games could be the 39th game, and it's in New York, like that type of stuff. Because it's not necessarily just their wins or their losses, it's their total games.
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah.
Game, yeah, like I said, I don't want to talk about any other series because, I'm not giving everything out for free. But, yeah, so if you do you have anything else on the Pacers and Knicks tonight?
Well, all I'm saying is that if the Knicks do win, like, so Jalen Brunson had those, we had the 4 games with, was it 35 or 40 points?
He has to do that again.
Yeah. So he's, the last 2 games he was on the under, and DiVincenzo was hitting his over. Maybe not the last game, because they all sucked. But I've been waiting for Josh Hart to kick up. Josh Hart's been real quiet. He was really good in the first couple of Sixers games, and then he's just fell off. Good defense, but nothing on the offense really.
I don't think whoever wins today wins Game 6 by by default.
Yeah. Well, like I said, just look up that October 29th to October 31st. Look for a birthday and an athlete with the right age. Maybe that's going to signify the Knicks pulling through.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call.
Hey, you got it, buddy.
All right. All right, let me just see what you guys have in the chat. See, did you notice the new puppet of Indiana, Kayla Clark, being on to the Pacers games? Kay and Clark, yeah. I think she made her debut today. Yeah, she's making her WNBA debut today. January 22nd. Yeah, her name is 113, like the National Basketball Association. And today's 113 days after her birthday. How about that? So Caitlin Clark is making her WNBA debut 113 days after her birthday when the name Caitlin Clark is 113. Oh, boy. They're playing Phoenix. All right. So again, I'll leave it there. Like I said, if the Knicks win today, they'll become 7-4 in the postseason, and then they'll definitely win Game 6. Pick up that 26 road win. Pacers equals 26. I'm standing by that. I still like the Pacers to get eliminated to the Knicks. Knicks to advance against the Celtics, and then we'll talk about the Celtics-Knicks series when it happens. But do not count the Knicks out. I don't think that 30-point loss means anything. I don't think the injuries mean anything because it's all rigged and scripted. Anybody can score 50 whenever they want, whenever the NBA wants it to happen. All right, so I'll leave it there. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to all the people who joined us in the chat. Thanks to all the haters as well who's watching from afar, waiting for us to be wrong so they can come back and leave their nice little nasty comments. Oh, gematria is bullshit. I know how you guys do. But if you don't feel safe about today's game, you can cash out your bet. I put out this pick a month ago almost. And that means the Knicks won the Philadelphia series. You should have made some money with that. They won 2 games in this series. You should have made some money with that. If you have a future in, you don't feel safe about the Knicks right now, this is the time to cash out. If you just, you can still make money if the Knicks do advance. You will get other opportunities to make some money. Especially if they go to the finals. We know it will end in 4 games. I don't think the Knicks are going to beat the Mavericks in any of those games. If it is the Celtics, that 185 is there because basketball is 185. The Celtics can become 18-5 in finals. Mathematics, Catholicism, big numbers. 180. 185 is huge. I was saying this when the Celtics lost to the Warriors. I said they are going to become 17-5 against the Warriors because Paul Francis and Golden State is 175. But if the Celtics ever do make it back to the finals, they will win it because of that 185. And, of course, they got the chance to do it this year. But so if the Celtics do go to the finals, the Celtics will be the team to win it. But if it is the Knicks, it will be the Mavericks to win it. All right? Enjoy your Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and good luck tonight. And go Knicks. Peace.